This is episode 66 of the Rise Up podcast. We're a morning radio show hosted by Steve, Terese, and Tim on Family Life, a network of stations across New York and Pennsylvania. Our podcast is a weekly conversation that will help you think and grow in your faith. If you haven't already, subscribe today so you don't miss a single episode, and find out more about our show at familylife.org.
Come closer to the radio so we can see you. Wow, you look great today. This is Rise Up on Family Life.
Oh, those noises that annoy you. I have one that I just remembered. Lip smacking.
Ha!
Someone eating. That's
like that?
Eating lip smacking.
Yeah.
Do we have to demonstrate?
No, I don't want to do that. But here's the one. Here's the one that gets me. I don't mind July 4th fireworks. I really don't mind on July 4th. And at the proper time.
Okay.
But what really bugs me, not much irritates me, this really irritates me, that on maybe the day or two before July 4th or the day or two or 3 or 4 after July 4th at the time of like 1 in the morning, what's my neighbors doing setting off fireworks at 1 that really bothers me. That noise.
Do you think it would bother you as much if you didn't wake up so early for your job?
Yeah, I just don't like, to me that is, I don't know, somewhat inconsiderate.
Explosions late at night.
Explosions late at night is not good. So anyway, if you're talking about noises that irritate me, that would be right at the top of my list.
And I know a lot of people have shared about this, that for anyone who's been in active military, it can be a PTSD trigger.
Sure.
And, if you expect it to be on July 4th and there's a community fireworks, you can stay away from it. But when you don't know, and on July 1st in your own neighborhood, it happens, it can be triggering. So I guess, it is a little bit disrespectful.
It'd be really irritating to go over and try to confront those people, and they're sitting around eating, smacking their lips while setting off fireworks.
You got a problem with our fireworks, sir? Let me think about that.
It just gives me the shivers. It's like, okay, so sometimes these sounds do give us shivers, these ones we really don't like. Like, when the nails on the chalkboard, that's the classic one. It kind of makes your skin just crawl.
Right.
Now, I don't know why anybody thinks that means that they enjoy what they're hearing when they experience autonomous sensory meridian response. Maybe you know it better.
Oh, like those things on the internet? You hate those?
ASMR is what I detest, Terese. Yeah, ASMR is something, it's become really popular in YouTube videos. It's like these little sounds. I'm not going to imitate them here, but they're like little clicking sounds.
Like rolling 100 crayons in your hands, or it's other random things.
They're so random. They're things like that. They can be tapping your fingernails on the pages of a book. They're just like, and somebody's going to, They are these little tiny clicky sounds, these little soft sounds, and they give some people goosebumps, and they really like it. Like it feels like some sort of
relaxing.
Like a scalp massage or
One
something.
of my daughters uses them to sleep.
And people do. And I get that people do that. I just don't get it, because to me, it does not have an autonomous sensory good response. It's like this fight or flight thing. I just can't stand it. It is very irritating. Now,
we've learned so much today.
Now listen to this. Listen to this. You
Right.
might be in the same category, because one subgenre of ASMR on YouTube that is popular, no joke, it is people eating in front of a microphone.
Oh, no.
Little chewing sounds. It's called mukbang. It originated in South Korea, this genre. It's very popular there. But yeah, people chewing for your pleasure to listen to that sound. I'm sorry. I cannot abide that.
They're not setting off fireworks, are they? I mean,
that would be mukbang.
On our
They'd
next
be really
episode, we're
that.
all going to eat sponge candy for 10 minutes straight.
Really? Oh,
It's going to be great.
We won't. I
Wow.
promise you.
You guys are a little crankier than I would have
Yeah,
expected.
well, you seem that way.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to go that far.
It's funny. And my husband, actually, I make a sound that he hates. Like if I get something stuck in this one tooth of mine, I'll be like, he hates that sound, right? I know. And you hate it too. And he'll be like, and this is how, after this many years of marriage, he addresses it. He'll go, would you like me to get you a flosser? He's so very kind about it. And then I realize that I'm doing it, and then I stop. But my sound that is so annoying and just bothers my soul is so the opposite of all you guys, my husband included. I am bothered by silence.
Oh.
And it's funny because my husband Scott's been having a lot going on at work, and there's some stuff going on with his family. and he's mentally processing it. But when we don't have easy conversation, I automatically think that he's upset with me, because conversation and words is, how I show love.
Right.
And so for me, silence is such a crazy, awful sound. And it's funny because I am very socially awkward. And that is based in large part on the fact that when there is silence, I say something usually stupid. And so and that's where it gets really weird. But what's ironic about all of this is that one of my favorite verses, a verse that has gotten me through so many conflicts, family conflicts, things like that, is Exodus 14:14. And depending on the version, you get a little bit different wording. The King James says, "The Lord shall fight for you. You shall hold your peace," which is about me being silent, not saying the things that I should say. ESV says, "The Lord will fight for you. You only have to be silent." New Living says, "He'll fight for you. Just stay calm," which is like an inner silence. The CSB says, "The Lord will fight for you. You must be quiet." And then my favorite of this verse is the good old Message. "God will fight the battle for you, and you keep your mouth shut."
Oh, nice.
Yes. And so I don't know, the more silence irritates me, the more I'm reminded that I should be silent more often, because that's when you really have time and space to fellowship with God, when you can hear his heart. When we're always blah, blah, blahing, it's hard to do that. And so with that, I'm done.
That was hard for you, wasn't it? A little silence there.
A little hard.
But you're practicing. That's good. Yeah. As you were talking, Terese, it brought back a memory, because not much irritates me. I've already mentioned the fireworks and the lip smacking, but that's current. I think back to when I was growing up, and what irritated me, and this isn't a noise necessarily, it's a sound, but it was my parents. I had great parents. I love my parents, and they loved all of us kids, but they would bicker. They would bicker over what I would consider at the time, and I never said anything because I was a kid and I wasn't going to say anything, over the silliest things. For instance, they'd be like, "Hey, do you remember last Tuesday when we did it?" "No, that wasn't Tuesday. It was Thursday." No, it was Tuesday. And they would go on trying to figure out which day it was for seemingly a long time, which would just irritate me. They'd be bickering about things that really made no difference. It wasn't the main part of the story, but here was this bickering going on between my parents that really, as I started to grow up, it's like, oh, that's really irritating. And it irritated me. And even to this day, I don't do that. Sometimes as a kid, you go like, I'm not going to do that but here's the other part of it. When my mom came down toward the end of her life, like the last month and a half, she was going to have serious heart surgery, and she did. And if she survived for 30 days in ICU. But before she went in for the surgery, for about a month before that surgery, which my parents knew was very serious and potentially life-threatening, which it ended up to be, was they, around each other, were acting almost like teenagers. They were giddy with each other. They were playful with each other. They realized that maybe that, and we never talked about it, but that all that bickering that went on, it's like, maybe that's not all that important. And they just came together in the last, 30 days, 45 days of their life together to just be loving. And all these noises and everything that we're talking about here in this conversation, it's a reminder to me that it's like, it's really not a big deal. Whether it's the fireworks or the lip smacking or the internet noises or all the different things, it's like, does it really matter that much? It puts things in perspective for me. So, noises, silence, whatever bothers you, it's another way the enemy, I think, is getting our mind and our direction, our focus away from the things and the one who really matters.
Anyone else wish morning started just a little later? Yeah, we get that. It's Rise Up with Steve, Terese, and Tim on Family Life.
I know this could be a bit sensitive, but did either of you, Steve or Terese, did either of you ever lose a stuffed animal as a kid?
I don't think so. Uh-oh. Sounds like Terese might.
This didn't happen to me, but I donated one of my kids' stuffed animals, not realizing
Yeah.
what a big deal that would be. I've never been to so many thrift stores in my whole life. We did not recover the Pooh Bear.
And what do you say? Yeah, what can you even say? It was one of my worst fears that I'd lose a stuffed animal, a fluffy friend when I was a kid. And I don't know how they're making it work at NASA today. Marvin wasn't fluffy, but he was a companion nonetheless. Perseverance, the Mars rover, had a pet rock, the internet dubbed it. It fell onto its wheel well sometime last year, and this little rock had just been tagging around with the Mars rover for like the last year, sending back pictures of it. Everybody's like, hey, Marvin the Rock. Well, yesterday, no picture came back of Marvin the Rock.
Wait, it
from
fell
Mars.
off?
It fell off. The pet rock is gone somewhere on the surface of the red planet, and I don't know what they're saying at NASA to help the Perseverance rover get to the day. It's just, Mars is full of other rocks. You can get a geological sample anywhere. Yeah, but none of them are Marvin. None of them are ever going to be Marvin, the pet rock on Mars.
It's okay. You can go back to bed in about 16 hours. In the meantime, thanks for listening to Rise Up on Family Life.
What were these parents thinking? I don't know. I know I shouldn't judge, so I'll step back a little bit. Maybe the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they just wanted their child to grow up with confidence. I mean, what parent doesn't want their child to show, confidence and that kind of thing? Because why would you want your kid, to be always right? Is
okay.
One way to do that. Well, one way that these parents had their child, they maybe not be always right, was name them that. So the last name was Wright.
Right.
Wright. And this guy, he's in college now. He plays basketball at Rhode Island, and his name is Always Right.
Oh, no.
True story. But why? I mean, the parents knew that going in.
Right. I mean, that's not as if that surprised them.
No.
To see,
no.
Look at that. Look how that lined up.
Yeah.
The kid's name is Always Right. Who saw that coming?
Saw that coming.
That was deliberate.
It reminds me of another, but when names like this happen, sometimes you think of like, what other possibility? Like when they take roll in class sometimes.
Yeah, sure.
Take, the attendance, that kind of thing, and they do
Correct.
the last name first. What if they name the kid On, O-N? It's like, right on? Yeah, man.
Here I am.
Right on.
Right on.
Right on, man.
Today is going to be great. We just know it. This is Rise Up with Steve, Terese, and Tim on Family Life.
Well, they say our magnetosphere is pretty riled up.
Or what?
Oh,
Yeah, okay.
It's.
Have you seen the Northern Lights? I was surprised. One of my girls said it's on her bucket list.
Wow.
And I was like, wait, what? First of all, you're like 20-something. What are you doing with a bucket list? Like, it's way too early
for that. It's a big bucket at that point. It's a very big bucket.
Large bucket.
Yeah.
But this like phenomenon of the green lights along the horizon. And it's been really visible pretty far south the last couple nights, like into Kansas even. So like across New York, Pennsylvania, like down through the plains and all the way. And then it kind of swoops back up to like Oregon because it originates from, like the North Pole. And I don't know if you've ever seen the Northern Lights, either one of you.
No,
I've only
have.
ever seen like the kind of faded brown. Like, is that that's technically the Northern Lights? Okay.
Yeah.
But not like the brilliant display.
Right. We were once on a red eye from San Diego back to the East Coast, and the Northern Lights were visible the whole flight, which made it really hard to sleep. But you're kind of like, take it in because I don't know if I'll ever have a better view ever again. But basically, there's like magnetic particles in our atmosphere. And when these solar emissions interact with them, they get to dancing. Well, there was a big blob of solar energy that came our way on Friday, and that got everything all riled up. And that's why you've been able to see the Northern Lights. Now, not everybody's had a great view in our part of the world. It's like Tim describes. It's like, well, is that kind of it? And then, so I saw somebody said, what you need to do is take out your phone and put it on like a time lapse photo and hold it very still. And then when you look at the picture, you'll be able to see like the Northern Lights. And I was like, a really great way to see a beautiful picture of the Northern Lights. Just go to the internet. You can't really see it that good just looking. And just look at it online,
Come on, you don't need any more beauty sleep. You look great. Thanks for listening to Rise Up on Family Life.
Mom, can we go to the library?
We have the library at home.
Not the internet.
Why settle for a screen when you can have a shelf? Rise Up reintroduces Library.
Too much noise online? Library is always quiet. Shh. music to my ears.
Watch your favorite shows and movies for one low monthly price. Nothing! You wouldn't forget to return the discs, right?
Unlike internet, with library, books don't get hacked. Ha! Take that, sketchy Prince of Genovia.
At Library, they'll never ask you to prove that you're a human by clicking on all the boxes with traffic lights. You'll never stumble into a kerfuffle in the comments section. And if you really need it, they have the internet too, for free.
With Library, I can read about cooking without seeing ads about toenails, and I never have to reject cookies. Ooh, thank you.
Connected, social, helpful. It's Library, the original internet.
Have you guys tried these cookies?